Alright, it's your buddy Mike Messier pulling into the parking lot, making a little vlog. I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about because they're on my heart. First of all, that expression pisses me off. Anytime it's something that came up, I don't know where it came from. It's on my heart. It's on my heart to say this. This ridiculous statement. It sounds like a 14-year-old or even a 9-year-old drama girl in a acting class. Nothing wrong with acting classes. I teach acting classes. But anyone's saying it's on my heart. If it's on your heart, I want to do something. That's why you do something, not because it's on your fucking heart. It's on my heart. It's on my heart to say this. I've been to churches and so forth, and sometimes people say that in church environments. You see that online a lot. It's on my heart to tell you this. And normally when people say something's on their heart, it's not going to be anything good for the listener. They're going to have to listen to some crap or some personal attack or critique or criticism. And it's just, I don't want to hear it. It's on my heart to tell you this. Fuck your heart, okay? There's another part to this. Someone was walking in the driveway, getting in his car. This guy getting in his car is fine. He can do what he wants. But the guy was funny because he's coming out of the gym, and he's a pretty big gentleman, size-wise, and he's in a very small kind of a automobile that's a little too small for him. And maybe that's why I'm perpetually pissed off. I drive a nice car. It's a good American car. But sometimes you do wish you had a bigger automobile. What's the next thing? Totally different topic. Pro wrestling. I should even make 2 fucking vlogs. I'm going to make 2 for the goddamn price of 1. Steiner's versus Spirit Squad. Now what the fuck does that mean? If you're a wrestling fan, you probably can figure it out. And I'm not pissing on anybody. And I love the fact that there's still independent pro wrestling shows that take place throughout the year. I mean, wrestling's a full-time sport. I have a lot of respect. It's in my heart to say this, though, that when you're booking an independent wrestling show especially, give the fans a little, give me a reason to go, I guess. And maybe it's me. I'm getting to a point of agitation with life in general. But the show that's being presented in my local venue, I don't want to piss on anybody, but they have a wrestling guest. I mean, he's obviously not going to wrestle. He's probably too old to wrestle. He might throw some type of move out there. There's too many people in my vlogging vicinity for me to talk privately right now. But basically, and this guy's leaving. I think you heard me say that. Good, he actually left. I think he heard me say that and he drove off. Spirit Squad is like, first of all, the Steiners, alright, started in the 80s, okay? So that's the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, 2017. So the Steiners, in my memory of what I've read, they started as a tag team in 1989, like mid-1989, in the old, literally the NWA, not even WCW. They weren't even calling it that. So you want to see the Steiners, and I've seen videos, and Scott Steiner always has a fluctuating physique of whatever he's doing. It's just fine. He can talk. I'm sure he'll garble some vocality, some swearing or something that'll be entertaining. And then the other guy, Rick, I mean, he's doing real estate. And people just say, oh, Rick Steiner's doing great in real estate. Well, he looks like a guy who's doing great in real estate. He looks like a guy who just puts on his khaki pants and his 2 button-down collar shirt and goes to work every day. His gray shirt with his little realtor emblem, and does some nice paperwork. And maybe if you're a wrestling fan, he'll bark for you or tell you some story about Booker T and Stevie Ray or some such nonsense. But I mean, Rick Steiner's got to be 55 or something. Scott's got to be pushing 50. I don't necessarily want to see them wrestle the Spirit Squad. Now that's another interesting thing. If you're a fan of Dolph Ziggler, the wrestler, you might remember his early days. He did a tag team where he was in a 5-man team called the Spirit Squad, which are basically chicken fodder scrubs for Triple H and Shawn Michaels and other people. even Eugene probably. So why would I even mention the Spirit Squad? Because that's kind of what's being billed as the second or third match down on this card. This local, not even local. Now here's an ambulance to ruin my fucking day. So they're having this big show, and it's an outdoor show. It's in a local baseball stadium. It's a Friday night. It should be a lot of fun. But I'm looking at the card, and it's just like, literally my favorite wrestler from the day is going to be there, but it's another, pay $100 and get his autograph. Well, I've gotten his autograph before, 13 or 14 years ago. I got his autograph for free. I got his autograph 20 years ago for free. I don't necessarily want to pay $100 for a Polaroid of this fucking guy. You know what I mean? Who I've met before for free. So it doesn't interest me. And then the other rest of the card is your usual suspects, wrestlers who kind of work this circuit, and there's no retirement fund for wrestling. And a lot of times I have gone to independent shows to support independent wrestlers, pay a lot of money for autographs that I don't need, that I'm not going to do anything with. But you get to that point where it's like, there's no point to any of this, to life in general, but to go to a wrestling show where you've seen the wrestlers a bunch of times, and now you're showing me the Spirit Squad, which were like a 2006, 2007 tag team, group of 5 guys. Dolph Ziggler was the standout. A couple of other guys had contracts. I think the WWF even brought him back to SmackDown, or WWE, brought him back to SmackDown just for a tag team title tournament or something. They wear green. They're male cheerleaders, and it's just, you're not going to hook me in to think that, I'd rather if they just said, hey, special appearance by the Steiner brothers and the Spirit Squad. To promote that as a match on the card, because no matter how short the match is, it's going to take up 10 to 20 minutes of your night. I'd rather see a couple of young hustling guys, bring in some whatever the fucks, from wherever the fucks. There is a couple of guys on the show, and I'm not, that are good quality wrestlers in the local scene, and that guys that probably go to NXT or wherever the fuck, Global or whatever the dick. But it's just a thing where something about, they actually, because I'm on the mailing list, they sent me an actual old school card in the mail because it was on my heart to receive it, apparently. And it's like, here's the card, and I'm looking at it, and I just kind of was thinking of my childhood when I would go to wrestling shows a fair amount of time, but no kid's going to go to every single monthly wrestling show unless you're really rich. And I remember you'd have to kind of pick and choose your spots. Like say, okay, well, this card doesn't have, Stone Cold, or doesn't have Andre the Giant, so I'm not going to go to this one, I'll pass. Or Hulk Hogan's wrestling Big John Studd instead of the Iron Sheik, so I'm going to pass. Or such and such and such and such. Ric Flair's wrestling Dick Murdoch, I have no interest. Whatever the fuck it was, you would pick and choose your spots as a fan. And I just feel like, for me, it's on my heart to say this. It's just not on my heart to go to this wrestling show. But I think, I do want to give credit to the wrestling promotion for even doing a show in the first place, trying to make a buck. But, as a fan, been around the block a few thousand times, seeing the Spirit Squad versus the Steiners, I just know it's going to be 3 minutes of about 6 clotheslines, the Spirit Squad flopping around like fish, some mic work, and then we go home. And I just don't want to spend a lot of money on a Friday night to see that. So no offense, but especially, I don't know, you just got to give me something more. And just kind of complacency or whatever the fuck. But sometimes it's on my heart to say these things. All right, it's Mike Messier. It's fucking August 3rd. August 2nd, which was yesterday. It's not today. But that was the 25th anniversary of Ron Simmons winning the WCW World Championship. I'll do another blog if anyone gives a cunt about that. But that's about it. I'm going to hang up now and do my goddamn business. Goodbye.